What it do? What it do, y'all? I just want to drop my take on why the Clipse didn't get Album of the Year, and they won over Kendrick. I mean, Kendrick took Album of the Year. Um, I really kind of thought that Clipse was gonna take it home. You know what I mean? They won, I think, like Performance of the Year, but they didn't get a chance to win Album of the Year. And he won a lot of, once again, Kendrick, and there's no slight to Kendrick, but Kendrick once again won um, a lot of awards. And it's like, dang, you know what I mean? I don't really fit, like, as far as hip hop, I don't think I don't think Kendrick album was better than Clip's album. Far as rollout, production, how they came back out, far as um, being gone for so long and not rapping. You know what I mean? Pusha T has always, held it down and did his thing. But far as them collectively as a group, it was just a better rollout, better production, better everything. How you not give it to the Clipse though? You know what I mean? I think they made a hell of a comeback. And for them not to win Album of the Year, it's crazy. You know, um, last Grammys, Kendrick swiped up a lot of awards. You know what I mean? And indeed he should, but I think this year they should let Clipse get Album of the Year. I don't think they should have gave it to Kendrick, at least not that one. You know what I mean? It just seemed like they just, you know what I mean? It's almost seeming like they riding Kendrick coattail, for whatever reason. Of course, a star-studded event. Dre was in the building. Um, Pharrell did receive the basically like the Lifetime Achievement Award, or as they call it, the Dr. Dre Award. But other than that, like, Clips should have won that award for best hip hop album of the year. They rollout was better than any rollout that's been cracking off. Better than any rollout that's been going for the last couple of years. They rollout was great. You know what I'm saying, as far as production, and Kendrick is on their album as well. But I feel like Clips should have won that award. And it's probably a lot of people that feel like that. You know what I mean? But a lot of that stuff is being bought, a lot of the slots, you know what I mean? And you could just almost tell, like, a lot of that is being bought. You know what I mean? Because if it wasn't, they should have won. They should have won. Oh, cool. I appreciate that. Thank you. What's up? What's going on? What's going on? Love the post. I appreciate that. Actually, those is vinyls on the back of the wall. You talking about all of that? Only poster I got is up there is Tupac. The rest of that is vinyls, actual vinyls, like with the vinyls inside the cases or whatever. But I appreciate it. But yeah, but Clips should have definitely won, man. They should have definitely won. And I think this is like probably like their first time being at the Grammys like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially being nominated for awards and stuff like that. Like I said, Pharrell did take one home, but that's Pharrell Lifetime Dr. Dre Award or whatever it's called. But you know what I mean? I have an important question. Yeah, what's the question? But they should have won that award. Bottom line. Bottom line. What does Clips have that in that? I mean, I just think it was an all around better hip hop album, so to speak. Don't get me wrong, it's two good albums. It's two great albums. You know what I'm saying? It's two good albums. It really is. You know what I'm saying? They both did their thing. Kendrick is on the Clipse album. You know, I can't. There's no argument with that. I just feel like as a true hip hop fan, a true hip hop listener, their rollout was better. Um, Production wise was better. To me, my personal beliefs. You know what I'm saying? How I feel. You know what I'm saying? You said, can you be a moderator? Yeah, cash at me. You can be a moderator. But no, listen, their their rollout was better. You know what I'm saying? Clips haven't been rapping together for some years, and how they came in and dropped that album, it felt like they didn't even miss a beat. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like that. Kendrick got a gang awards last year, but I understand it. It's politics and everything. It's politics and everything. Both got great albums, and that's had more of a more of a culture impact. No, I understand. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, definitely. Um, I rock with both albums. I rock with both albums. Me just being, I mean, I'm a fan of Kendrick. I'm a fan of Clips and everything like that. You know what I mean? Like I said, Kendrick is on their album. You know what I'm saying? So it's no like they hating or they mad at you know what I mean at Kendrick, but I just feel that's just my personal beliefs. You know what I'm saying? They both had great albums, but it's always next year. They just got to work harder, drop more music, and Kendrick album was more cultural. It did have more of a cultural impact. You know what I mean? But I just wish me being a hip hop fan, um, always listening to the clips since they done came out. I just wish they would have got that one. That's all. You know what I mean? But they did take one home. They did take one home for best performance of the year, which was I forget the name of the song, but they took one home. They got the chance to take one home. You know what I mean? But it's no shade, it's no hate. I mean, they did what they, you know, both parties put it down great. You know what I mean? So I can't. I'm not mad at that. Oh man, I was trying to do. I was trying to put the clouds up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't. I need to buy more. I got to get more. You know what I'm saying? I just left it up there. That's all. I got it like the lighting and everything hooked up. I just need more. I didn't realize I needed more. I just had got that off Amazon. Also, rappers on who deserve Grammys well. Yeah, 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 for sure. No, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm a hip hop fan to the end. You know what I'm saying? All the way. Like I listen to some of everybody, all type of genres of rap. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop. I'm just saying I kind of expected them to win. I was hoping them to win. That's all. You know what I mean? I rock with both. I've been rocking with Kendrick since overly dedicated and Section 80, high powered. Like some of the people, a lot of people don't even know them. A lot of them songs, and you know what I mean. Like all the way back to then, just like with the clips. I've been rocking with the clips since Laura Willing and Hell Have No Fear, like Fury and all of them albums. So that's all. I just expected them to win. Oh no, it's all good, fam. Shit, it's cool. Both Cleveland. One which is a win for. No, it's definitely a win for hip hop. It's definitely a win for hip hop. Like I said, they got the chance to take one home. They did, and you know what I mean. So you can't be mad at that. They can't be mad at that. You know what I'm saying? But that's all. Like I said, I rock with both of them. I do. I rock with Clips. I love what Kendrick do. I love what Pusha T and Malice do. You know what I mean? And them having Pharrell as their in-house producer, their brother, somebody they came up with, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? And being part of, fashion with them and all that type of stuff, that's dope. You know what I mean? And it's so crazy because they all rock with each other though. So it's no beef. It's not, you know what I mean? Like I'm not throwing no shade. You know what I'm saying? Pharrell rock with Kendrick. Pharrell has produced for Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? So it's all love. I'm just saying like it would have been something to see for them to, something that a lot of people would have been like, dang, they really won album of the year. But I get it. Kendrick is a bigger artist. You know what I'm saying? He has way, 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 way more emotion, or been having way more emotion than them. You know what I'm saying? He never took a day off, none of that. So that's all I'm saying. But I think the Grammys was tight. You know what I'm saying? And Pharrell got the Dr. Dre Award. I see that's a whole category now. Whoever gets that award, the Grammy itself is actually black or bronze or whatever it is. So it's dope. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad to see both of them, both parties go at it. You know what I mean? And all in all, it was a good show. He's one of my favorite girls as well as Kendrick. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, most definitely. Heck yeah. Yeah, it's a good album. Both of them was great albums. You know what I'm saying? It's just that Clips had that old school rollout. That's all because and maybe that's another reason, you know what I mean? Because Kendrick is a real hip hop artist. Clips, Pusha T and Malice, him and his brother is true hip hop artists. It's just how the Clips had their rollout. That was a good rollout, I think, for them, especially for them not to drop any. It's been so long that they dropped any new projects. You know what I'm saying? So that's all. That's all I'm saying. Like, but it's still a dope. Everything was still, well deserved. Um, But I remember seeing an interview a couple of months back, and Pusha T was saying that they still got more music to put out. That I think Malice is his brother might be thinking about putting out an album or whatever. So it's all to the good. I would love to see them. I would love to actually see Clips and Kendrick go on tour. I think that'll be a good tour. Even if they did like a couple of cities. You know what I'm saying? I think that'll be a very good tour because they both like they hit like what the Clips do falls in line with what Kendrick does. Easily. Mm. Well, let's stick to the yeah. Listen, like I said, I can't stress it enough. Like, I rock with both, hands down. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, I bought. You know what I mean? I got when GNX dropped, it's on my phone right now. You know what I'm saying? When the Clips album dropped, I got it. I even bought the whole little. They had like a little package where it was like a shirt and a CD and a box. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a real hip hop fan. Like, that's all. I'm just giving y'all my thoughts and how I feel. Yeah, man, I'm old, man. Old. You know what I'm saying? But that's all, you know what I mean? But all in all, I think it was a good Grammy show. I see that they paid tribute to the late great D'Angelo. That was tight. Um, they had Lauren Hill out there and Raphael Sadiq and you know what I'm saying? So all in all, it was a good show. Straight up. You know what I mean? That's what's up. But yeah, it was a good show. You know what I'm saying? Y'all tap that like button, get them likes up, man. Um, but what did y'all feel about the show? What was some of y'all best moments, far as you know what I mean? And then I listened to, like I said, all type of music. So the whole show was good. It was a good show. The Grammys always be pretty good for what it's worth. Fire no go. Yeah. I rock with that. Like I said, I'm a Kendrick fan. Listen, a lot of people didn't even get up on Kendrick until he put out Good Kid, Mad City, or Pimp to a Butterfly. Like, I was up on Kendrick way before that. Way before Kendrick even, listen, even before he dropped Overly Dedicated what was it, Section 80. I was up on Kendrick when J-Rock had him on the song Ghetto, with the song back in the day that J-Rock had with Lil Wayne, when Lil Wayne still looked normal, when Wayne still had the long dreads and Wayne wasn't looking all crazy. I was up on Kendrick then, because if y'all go back and look at that J-Rock video, Kendrick is in that video. Kendrick at that time had to be about no more than, because he's older than me, but he had to be no more than like 24, 25 in that video. And I could remember seeing that video. I could remember watching 106 in Park, like, who is he? Because I knew who J-Rock was. J-Rock was already making some noise. He was the first one, let me see. Yeah, he was the first one from TDE. For real, like, if we really want to, like, stay facts. Before, because I think it went J-Rock, Schoolboy Q, then Kendrick. But Kendrick he was like the youngest one out the bunch, out the whole clique. You know what I'm saying? And of course, like Ab-Soul and stuff like that. But like far as like MCs, you know, because Ab-Soul is more of a poet. But I remember when, like I said, when Kendrick was in that video, you know what I mean? And I just remember watching that video like, damn, who is Dog? Who is that? You know, and then later down the line, I'm like, oh, then I had to go back. I was like, oh, damn, that was dude in J-Rock video that was on the hook with the ghetto. On that song, I'm like, oh, damn, that's Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that was Kendrick in the video. So I was kind of up on him then. And then, like I said, even still, a lot of people didn't know who he was, because the two main artists, even on that song at that time, was, of course, Wayne. That's when Wayne was going crazy, and J-Rock. And then when he put out Section 80, and then he came out with Overly Dedicated, I was up on him then. I'm just saying, a lot of people didn't get up on Kendrick until Good Kid, Mad City, or Pimp to a Butterfly. You know what I'm saying? I was up on him years before that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it was J-Rock then. Oh, it was J-Rock. I mean, yeah, okay. You say it was J-Rock then Kendrick? Then probably, okay. So it was J-Rock, Kendrick, my bad. You schooling me. It was J-Rock, Kendrick, then Schoolboy Q. I know Schoolboy Q was like the last one to drop anyway. You know what I mean? But yeah, J-Rock definitely was the first. But I could, like I said, I could just remember watching that video, like, who is he? Because I think even before that, even before that video, before that song, it was already talks about J-Rock, and a lot of people was talking about him. So when the video came out, and this was when 106 in Park and all that was still on, I already knew who J-Rock was, you know, because he was already making it, kind of like going around making a name for himself. And then, you know what I mean? And then the rest is history. This is the first okay, dog, it was good. But yeah, Good Kid, Mad City was out. What up, Mike? What's cracking? Yeah. What do you think pulled J-Rock back? What you said? What pulled J-Rock back? I don't know. I mean, the industry, man. The industry is not how it used to be at a point. I mean, nothing stays the same. Like, it's always been errors and phases. You know what I mean? It could have been many reasons. Like, he's still around, you know what I'm saying? But he's not where Kendrick is at. You know what I'm saying? But the industry is probably, for the last couple of years, it's been, you know what I'm saying? It's been kind of wicked. You know what I'm saying? I can even remember the era when it was like Gucci and OJ the Juice Man, and, you know what I'm saying, Waka. You had that era. You know what I'm saying? That was like the trap, cause like even what like Waka was doing was like trap, kind of like alternative. You know, not alternative, but he was kind of like on the same wave of like how like Lil Jon and East Side Boys with that turned up trap alternative. Then that era went by. Then was Waka and all them, but it's just like over the last couple of years, and artists talk about it all the time. It's just different now. And then when it came straight up digital, that's when everything kind of just switched. You know what I'm saying? It's just switched over. It's just different now. It's just different. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of artists, they see that and be like, yo, I'm cool, I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? I can even remember at a point in time when Waka himself, Waka Flocka, I actually heard him say this out of his own mouth, where he was like, man, it's so crazy. This industry shit is so crazy. The nigga actually said, I'd rather work at Walmart. I remember, if I could find that, I'm gonna end up posting that. I remember him saying that in an interview. And this when he was kind of like, he still had a buzz, but it was kind of like, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of like dying down for him. But he was just like, man. And he said that like, I think like twice in the interview. You know what I mean? So, because of who was it? Top power. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? A lot of artists just don't be wanting to be a part of the whole, you know what I'm saying? The whole grand scheme of things. Hold on, and that Jay-Z remix is not good. What Jay-Z remix? Oh, you talking about you talking about damn, what's the name of the song? You talking about the remix that Kendrick got with Jay-Z. You don't think you don't rock with that song? I mean, I thought it was pretty, you know what I mean? I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, oh yeah, right. Yeah, Don't Kill My Vibe. Yeah, remix. I don't know. I mean, like I said, at that point, now it probably would be looked at a little different. You know what I'm saying? It'd probably be a little bit different, looked at a little bit different. But at that time, that was a good look for Kendrick. And then that's when like Jay was bouncing around and kind of like doing features and remixes a lot. Cause I can remember he was on Hustling remix with Rick Ross. I mean, I know that was like years and years before, but that's when Jay had like a small run where he was kind of like allegedly still retired, but was still kind of like outside and dropping verses. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, even then, I think that was a good look for Kendrick. But that just goes to show you how much respect Kendrick got in the culture for somebody as big as Jay to jump on a remix. You know what I'm saying, of Kendrick. You know what I mean? And then like, you know, Jay always been plugged. You know, Jay always been plugged with Dre. I mean, Kendrick is technically Dre artist, even though he's TDE, but he's still technically Dre artist because he's on, like, I know he still got some type of dealings with Aftermath. You know what I mean? And so that was probably an easy go for him. I mean, that was probably an easy put together. You know what I mean? I can remember when Jay dropped Kingdom Come album back in 2007. If you go back and read them credits, that whole album that Jay-Z dropped, Kingdom Come, is mixed by Dr. Dre. If you read the credits, if you go back and read the credits, all of that is mixed by Dre. Every song on that album, not produced, like he didn't produce none, but every song got mixed and mastered by Dre, Dr. Dre. If you go back and read them credits. So, and then like Jay has been having a relationship with Dr. Dre. You know what I'm saying? He was the one that wrote Still DRE. A lot of people, even to this day, don't even know that Jay-Z was the one that wrote that. You know what I'm saying? So it was easy. It was probably nothing for him. It was nothing for Kendrick to, yo, Dre, I need Jay for this. You know, or he probably already, of course, you know, he was one of the biggest artists coming up. Yo, I need Dre for this. All right, we're going to put it together. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, he still falls under a Aftermath artist. He's TDE, top dog. You know what I'm saying? But at least at that time. But any album wise, studio album wise, is Aftermath, hands down. No, yeah. K Dot was Stamp Ho, Eminem and Dre. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Eminem and Dre. Yeah, it was. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So like, I mean, even like I said, even at that time, that was still a very good look for Kendrick. But like I said, Kendrick, he's probably one of the most humblest MCs. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Dre put him on for a reason, just like I feel like he done put on every artist, whether it was Game, whether it was M, you know, still working with Snoop, Kendrick, you know, Dre know what you know what I mean, like, come on, it's Dre. Like, this is the man that was, you know, was producing all NWA and Death Row, and you know what I'm saying? This is a legendary producer, so of course, who wouldn't want to be signed, you know what I'm saying? But Kendrick is a hell of an artist. That's why I would love to see him. I would love to see him. I would love to see Clipse go on tour with, say, somebody like a Kendrick Lamar. Honestly, because I know that would be a dope look for that. That'd be a dope look, and that'd be a dope tour. You know what I'm saying? That'd be a man. What? That'd be one of them tours. I would have to go to that tour. You know what I'm saying? Especially if he was to come to my city or somewhere nearby. I've been going back to. Oh, you said Renegade Ho? Oh man, Renegade Ho's getting better for me. I might be getting old, but how old are you? Oh, you must be okay. Like, oh yeah, and see that's the thing though too. Like even with Renegade, like a lot of people would say, M got at him, like not got at him, like dissed him, but like really outshine him on his own song. And that song is production by, once again, if you go back and read the credits, I think I got Blueprint somewhere. I done had a lot of, I don't know, but that song is production by Eminem. If you go back and go get the Blueprint one, the first one, and read that production is by Eminem. It sounds like an Eminem beat when you hear it. Like that whole song sound like an Eminem song from how that beat is put together and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But that was produced by Eminem. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, you know, Kendrick is legendary already. He's already goated. You know, I feel like the Clipse got more work to do because they broke up. Malice Malice went to do his own thing. You know what I'm saying? Malice went to go do his own thing, and then Pusha was out there by himself, meaning, he was dropping solo projects, but I feel like Pusha should have been dropping more solo projects. But once again, you never know, it's different for everybody. It's just like being in the NBA. Nobody is going to have the same deal. Everybody's going to get different opportunities. You know what I mean? This person could have got drafted for this amount of money. This person could have, different endorsements, this, that, this. That's why I say it's a lot of politics and stuff. Looking forward to new artists like, oh yeah. White boy. JID is cold. Earth Gang, I mess with Earth Gang. Oh yeah. Let me see, maybe after Kendrick release a pure hip hop into record. Pretty much to it. Yeah, no, for real. Yeah. I mean, I just the thing is too, it's just good to see certain artists like the Kendricks and the JIDs and the Clipse, and it's others really be rapping hip hop. Even J. Cole. J. Cole is about to drop again. because it's so many young dudes that's on the drill tip, and you know what I'm saying. So even as an artist you really don't rock with, but you know they're straight hip hop to the core, you gotta love it, you gotta respect it, because it's been so much drill music for the last couple of years to the point where it's just like it's really oversaturated. So it's like when you get like people like even like old heads like Nas and you know what I'm saying, that just put I feel like Nas and DJ Premier project could have been a little bit better, but you know Nas is older. You know what I'm saying? Nas is on all, you know, on some whole other stuff, far as doing other things outside of hip hop. But you gotta respect it, because it's like here's an artist that's been around for so many years. He done seen so many people come and go. You know what I'm saying? You can't expect for him to rap about certain things when you know he's older, and on top of that, it's like I'm a whole new, you know, I'm not a whole new artist, but I'm more mature. You know what I mean? I'm not the same, say like Nas, like I'm not the same Nas back when he dropped Nostradamus or I Am or Stillmatic. You know what I mean? And you could see the growth in that. So, but anytime any of these artists that's been around 10 years plus, you know what I mean? You gotta respect that. The only one that's rapping like probably like his old self when he dropped is probably like Wayne. You know what I mean? Everybody else is kind of like, you know, it's a little different now. It's a lot different. Um, but far as because it haven't been really no albums. Well, no, it's been a couple of albums that has dropped this year, but we shall see. You know what I mean? Of what's to come for this year. I feel like it's gonna be some pretty good albums come this year. I know they started verses back. Hopefully we see some good verses. You know what I mean? They just had one with Hit Boy and who was that? Hit Boy and Mike Will made it, which that one was kind of, you know, lackluster. But once again, it was still good for hip hop, because both of them has produced some very good songs on both, you know what I'm saying, both parties. J. Cole just put words together quite well. Nothing. Yeah, yeah. I want to go back. Yeah, I feel you on that. J. Cole's revealing to me. I think he's the best. Yeah, J. Cole, man. And you know what? I was kind of disappointed when he dropped the album Might Delete Later, and he took that 7 minute, the song, that the last song on the album, the 7 minute drill. He actually, like, you could probably still find it on YouTube, but he actually deleted that song. And I'm like, and then at the Dreamville Festival, I'm like, he apologized. I'm like, well, like, and it was just crazy to me, because I'm like, man, really, this is just it's just rap. It's not like you're a street artist or you coming from the streets. So I think that kind of like watered down his fire, so to speak, especially when it was just a real like just hip hop rap battle. You know what I'm saying? That water his steam down a little bit. It did. You know what I'm saying? Like you pulled a song off the album, because the album is still up on Apple Music. You can still find it. But he pulled the song off the album. You know what I'm saying? And that was like one of the best songs that was on the Might Delete Later album. Like the production, how he was flowing. I'm like, okay, all right. You know what I'm saying? But I was just like, wow. You know, come on. Like, you know, I think he always done had kind of a little bit of that, like, kind of like that Wale syndrome. Like Wale is kind of like an artist that feel like he should, or I don't know how he feel now, but I know it was at a point in time where Wale was feeling like he should have been higher or further than where he was. But you got to drop them songs where you really get the people. You know what I'm saying? Like even when Kendrick started beefing with Drake, when he was dropping them songs back to back, and it was like you gotta have that. You gotta have that warrior spirit about yourself. So when he pulled back, I'm like, what? It kind of made me look at J. Cole a little different. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn. What made you do that? Like, and it wasn't like, I don't know, maybe he knew what type of games Drake played, or he didn't want to be a part of it. I don't know what it was, but all I know, I'm like, man, that was kind of weak of him, honestly. J. Cole did some, man, people on the mixtape. Yeah, he did this. A lot of people. He did. I ain't, and you know what? I only probably heard like a song, but I haven't really heard it like that. But you say he sneaked this Joey Drake K Dot. Yeah, I was hearing about that. Punch it down. I mean, yeah, I feel what you're saying, but as an MC, because listen, this is what hip hop is made of. This is what hip hop is made of: battling. Who's the better rapper? Who got the better flows? Who can sell the most? Like, this is what hip hop started from. Honestly, if you go back and look at any rap battle from the late '80s, early '90s, early 2000s, any dude that went at each other, this was what it was made of. This is what it was about. This is what it was about. Nigga, I'ma out rap you, yeah, and I might hit you with a couple of personal jabs and all of that. But that's what hip hop was made on. It was, you know what I'm saying? It was made off battling. You know what I'm saying? It was that. That's how everything started. So now I can understand, like, if you're a rapper like Dolph, and and like Yo Gotti, where these dudes is really was tied in with the streets, and and long live Young Dolphin, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. If you are more of a street rapper, like, these niggas don't even wear jewelry for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? They ain't even rapping that type of, you know what I'm saying? They lyrics is not even like that. So, like I said, when he pulled back, it just made me, I mean, I know that's what grown men do, but it just made me look at him kind of like, dog, this is just a rap battle. Just rap. You know what I'm saying? Just rap. Just go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Take dog head off. You know what I mean? But I guess he said, and it's crazy because I guess now, now he's back to dissing people, or just, you know what I'm saying? It kind of reminded me how Gucci was dissing everybody before he went to jail. And he was just on Twitter going at it at everybody, from Waka to Nicki Minaj to Rocco, everybody that was somebody at that time. But I don't know what's up with these dudes, man. I know he's dropping an album soon, so he say his last album, but who knows? I was just looking at the well, I'm gonna look at this T.I. interview again. When I end this, I probably go live again. T.I. was just saying that this album he's putting out about to be his last album, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? What is, I forget what's the name of T.I. new album, or what it's gonna be. I forget, but these guys, man, the rap game is just fickle right now. It's just, I don't know what's up with dudes. Niggas is scared to battle each other, you know what I'm saying? But that's how everything started. Everything started by battling. Cole claimed he was grown into dissing 40-year-old love throwing stones out. Yeah, that's sucker. Yeah, that's sucker. Yeah. That's why I'm saying, when he took that 7-minute drill off, that's what made me look at him different. Because it's like, you supposed to be an MC. You hold yourself as one of the top MCs, right? You know what I'm saying? And then it's like it's just crazy. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. But it's just crazy. And I was just if you subscribe to my channel, you know what I'm saying? I just uploaded a couple of days ago of ASAP Rocky was saying why academics was asking him because academics just interviewed ASAP Rocky and he was saying what made him go at Drake, and he was saying because he said something about Rihanna and um on tour, something about the song. Oh, he was saying, I guess Drake was saying he don't perform work no more. The one song Rihanna got with him, and he kind of, I guess, was throwing little jabs and shot at her, and you know, and then he got to saying little stuff. But ASAP, even before he said that, ASAP was saying that he seen ASAP out his own mouth was saying that he seen the difference in Drake by saying little things and acting weird, and you know what I'm saying, and you know, just, and I think that came from ASAP Rocky being with Rihanna because, you know, before it was before Rocky got with Rihanna, you know, they kind of I believe, you know, him and Rihanna had a little fling, but and he probably felt some type of way. But I always heard that Drake is the type of artist that, you know, feel he's an emotional type of dude. So I could see him feeling some type of way because because Rocky got Rihanna. You know what I'm saying? So I can see that. I can see that. Future studio guys, he loads points. You said Future. Just get females every week. Yeah, Future. He's something else too. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you for real. I really do. Yeah, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I should, you know what? I might just, you know what I'm saying, go on to make you a moderator straight up. Cause I see you, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead and do my, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you a rank just for you being in here rocking with me and you commenting and everything. I appreciate that. And I like your take. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. You know what I mean? I see you're a real music fan, hip hop fan. I like that. I like that. I like that. That's dope. So just for that, you know what I mean, you get a you can, you know what I mean, you can get to have a ranch. But yeah, I just feel like and then too, like when J. Cole dropped this album, we gonna see. You know, maybe he'll rethink it this time and be like, no, you know what? No, I'm good. Cause I just feel like that really made me look at him differently. Far as Drake, I really feel like he's not gonna be as big as he was, you know, 5, 6 years ago or a couple of years ago. But it's not even really due to the beef. I mean, it's due to the beef, but the thing is that everybody that had their moment, everybody that had their moment, everybody that had their moment from Jay to Ye to Ross to M to 50 to hell, Gucci even had a moment. T.I. Nobody stays on top forever. Nobody stays on top forever. Drake just had a hell of a run for so many consecutive years back to back, hit after hit after hit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it really was. But nobody stays on top forever. That's in any sport. I don't care if it's rapping, singing, acting, um, um, whatever it is that you do as far as entertainment or whatever. Nobody stays on top forever. It could be, like I said, NBA, NFL. You know, everybody's going to have their run, and eventually it's going to, you know, get smaller and smaller and smaller. And then there's gonna be somebody new that comes in, and then after that, it's gonna be somebody. So nobody stays on top forever. But what he will be able to do is make money for a long time, and because Drake has a crazy catalog and he got a lot of songs, he'll be able to, if he ever wanted to sell his catalog, and he'd be able to tour off them songs. And by him being still, even to this day, one of the biggest artists, he can even sell half of his catalog, and he don't even have to sell the whole thing. Or he could, it's so many, when you're an artist like that, it's so many ways you could play around with your music, far as making lifetime revenue off of it, because he got hits after hits after hits. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we love hip hop, definitely. So, with somebody like Drake, yeah, he'll always be able to tour. He honestly will be able to tour longer than somebody like Kendrick would. Honestly. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick is just finally getting into like that Drake bag, meaning like the same thing Drake was going through. Now it's Kendrick turn, like with the Grammys, and but Kendrick don't really pop out like that. Drake didn't neither all like that, but Drake was more visible, especially at his height, at his peak. Drake was always more visible. But like I said, he would still be able to perform. He would still be able to tour and make money. So at the end of the day, that's really what it's about, right? You know what I'm saying? Money, hits and money. Because and then it's so crazy because Drake started at a time where it was still tangible CDs. You gotta think about that. Like Drake is not a new artist. We all know that. But Drake didn't start with all of this digital stuff. He was, of course, he had to what's the word I'm looking for? Of course he had to switch. I mean, just like anybody else had to switch over, far as just understand how the whole digital world work and stuff like that. But he came out at a time where it was still, the digital world was just about to take off. It was just about to take off. I remember going in Best Buy or Target or whatever, moms and pops, whatever, and seeing his albums and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So even with that, he's still considered a veteran. You know what I mean? It's just that you let somebody from Compton come in and just mop the floor with you, but you could see, like like the thing is with Drake, and you know what? With Drake and J. Cole, they're similar. They have very similar tendencies. If you think about it, if you look how Drake is, especially now, and then you look how J. Cole is, they kind of got the same tendencies when it comes to this music thing. You know what I'm saying? They really, really do. They really do. You know what I mean? Coconut record. No, for real, Mike. Real talk. No, seriously. They really do. What was the song? What was that first shooter that J. Cole and Drake was on right before the beef? All the beef stuff had took off. They have J. Cole and Drake really. Now that I really think about it, they tendencies of how they go about. You know what I'm saying? I think Drake is all the way female. I'm not gonna lie about that. I think he's just soft. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta remember, Drake didn't grow up in no hood, and that's good. He was fortunate and blessed to where he didn't have to go through a lot of hardships and a lot of misfortunes and stuff like that. I mean, hell, your daddy used to work with Al Green, so like by your pops working with Al Green, we don't need to even say no more. Like Al Green back in the '70s, oh man, he was that dude. Like it was him, especially like early '70s. It was him, Marvin Gaye, Smokey Robinson. They was like the top dudes. So, but he didn't have to go through none of that, and he grew up in the bird. So you got to understand. But like, and I think he's like the only kid. So it's like, people that be like the only child, they got like I don't know, they have some type of like different issues that goes on in their head where they feel like everything just evolve around them. Don't listen to support artists like Drake. I listen to more. Yeah, me too. Chino, you said Chino XL? Oh yeah, you's a hip hopper for real. Yeah, he's a Nickelodeon kid. Yeah, yeah. He might be Disney too. Yeah, yeah, most definitely he is. But you said Chino XL. Oh man. Oh yeah, yeah. You hip hop all the way for sure. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like. I like I said once again, I appreciate you for tapping in and all of that. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. And you see, I made you a moderator, so you know what I mean? Yeah, I really, really appreciate that. Most definitely. Most definitely. You know what I'm saying? We might have to, we might have to do it live together one day or bring you up on a panel, you know what I'm saying? And make sure, man, my dog ain't in here right now. He probably busy working. My dog IQ Shaheed. Make sure you go tap in with him too, cause he be up on a lot of stuff. I don't even know where to start at with him. I'm talking about far as far as reactions and music review, everything. IQ Shaheed, make sure y'all go tap in with, you know what I'm saying, with my dog. You know what I'm saying? Good dude, humble dude, show everybody love. But yeah, once you said Chino XL, yeah, yeah. Where you from? If you don't mind me asking. But yeah, I think, man, you know what? Like I said, I think the Grammys was good. You know what I mean? Shout out to Pharrell, man. You know what? Even with him though, it's sad to see. Um, it's kind of like, man, I'm not gonna say sad, but it's kind of messed up to see somebody like Pharrell, him and Chad Hugo, that was his partner, that was the Neptunes. Um, be having differences about money and they don't really rock with each other no more, man. I can remember when I first started listening to their beats and how their beats got better and better and how they was going around working with everybody. Like a lot of people don't even know, like Pharrell wrote or co-wrote Rump Shaker for Teddy Riley back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But it's just sad to see that they're going through this. And I ain't gonna even lie, Pharrell wrote one of my best. It's not a lot of female songs I like that. But Pharrell, and I didn't even notice, but Pharrell had wrote one of SWV songs back in the day, Use Your Heart. If you are real, really tapped into music like that, Pharrell wrote that song. You could almost hear it. I don't know. I think he might be kind of like singing background vocals as well. But Pharrell wrote that song, and he like produced what at least 75, maybe 80% of Justin Timberlake's first album. You know what I'm saying? But one of my favorite R&B female groups, he wrote Use Your Heart, Pharrell. Pharrell and Chad wrote that song. Even if you go on Apple Music and go scroll down to the bottom of that, Pharrell wrote that song, him and Chad. So it's just crazy to see them to have differences, you know what I mean? But that goes, excuse me, that just goes to show you how wicked the industry is, though. But Pharrell is still a dope. Are you from South Africa? Oh, that's dope, man. I need to come out there. But no, for real, it's still a dope artist. Um, Definitely, one of the best to do it from VA. But all the people from VA is very talented. If you think about it, from the Chris Brown to the Timbaland and Missy and Teddy Riley and there's so many more people. Even dudes in sports, Allen Iverson, and I mean the list goes on and on and on. But yeah, and I don't know where they went wrong at, because they ain't. I think they fall out only been for the last couple of years. You said, "Oh man, no, listen, yeah. Well, you know what though? Um, at a point in time, the reason why IQ Shaheed was going at Adam was because um, when IQ Shaheed first started doing YouTube, um, he used to do just reactions. He used to just do a bunch of reactions, and this is when he was doing reactions way before No Jumper got how it is now. You know what I mean? When it was still just like music and it was none of that gang stuff, none of that, right? And Adam 22 had gave him a strike, gave him a strike and everything like that. Actually, I want to say like once or twice. And they kind of had a little bit of back and forth going on. You know what I'm saying? But I respect that though. You know what I'm saying? Even though if that's not, your cup of tea, but just to give you insight on it. And that's what happened with him. I know he's never been on No Jumper or nothing like that, but you know, dude did like strike his channel before and stuff like that. But I definitely understand that. We were more into gangster rap in South Africa, the West Coast, and had my parents on, so I then goes way to the gangster rap. No, I feel you. That's tight. That's tight. So you really from South Africa? That is tight. That's tight. I'm going to I gotta visit. One of these. I gotta visit South Africa. I would love to come over there and visit. You know what I'm saying? Because I really want to take this whole streaming thing and vlogging to the next level. Um, but I'm planning on going to Japan, honestly, in like June. You know what I'm saying? And that'd be like my first overseas trip. You know, is going to Japan or whatever. Um, Definitely. But I'm gonna get off back into doing art, you know what I'm saying, doing art and stuff like that. Um Trying to get into the fashion world, all of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got some shirts, some t-shirts I'm gonna be dropping soon. Already got the design and for the shirts, you know what I'm saying? Like just my first little cook up or whatever. I'm gonna be dropping them soon. So hopefully you know what I'm saying? Y'all like them, y'all tap in with them. I mean, I said tap in with them. Hopefully y'all like them. And once I drop them, so I'm definitely be um, dropping them very soon as far as t-shirts. But I got this one crazy art piece I'm about to do. Oh man, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to go and probably maybe sometime this week get a couple of canvases or just probably like the biggest canvas I could find. And yeah, I probably um be streaming that or however I'm gonna have it set up. But yeah, everyone should visit South Africa once in a lifetime. A lot of American time is even more developed than Miami. Yeah, I gotta come out there. I gotta come out there. Maybe you could be my tour guide, straight up. Like I would definitely come to South Africa. I would definitely come. You know what I'm saying? Most definitely. That's the motherland. For real. That's the motherland for real. So I would be, you know, it's a few places overseas that I want to visit. Honestly, that's just being, Japan is just being one, especially far as just seeing how their culture is, and I know they up on fashion and stuff like that. But like South Africa, heck yeah, that'll be one of my top places I would love to visit. I would love to visit, like honestly. But we gotta do a panel or something together. For real. We definitely gotta do a panel or something or you know what I mean? How many since I'm gonna look at how many subscribers you got on here on YouTube? Watching the Grammys at the boycotting for years, but they doing themselves tonight. Hip hop will never die. Oh yeah, hip hop will never die. Hip hop will never die. It might be weird. It might get weird, here and there, but nah, hip hop will never die. But yeah, we gotta go. We might have to go live together or something one day. You know what I'm saying? I think that'll be dope. But how many subscribers you got on here? But I think that'll be dope. You know what I'm saying? Especially so you in South Africa. You from South? I know you say you from South Africa. You still over there apparently, right? No, I'm not into content. Oh, I homeschool my kids, so I have to be online, but not. Okay, respect. That's okay. Understand. Um, but that's tight though. Man, I would love to come to South Africa for real. If I could, I would come over there as soon as possible. It's definitely to see how the lifestyle and how everything is. That's dope. That's tight. That's tight. That and shout out to South Africa, most definitely, because you probably the first one um, from there or anywhere outside of the United States that has tapped in with me. So I definitely appreciate you being here. You are now official a mod. So you know what I mean. Whenever you know what I mean. Now you could get the you know you see any negative or crazy things in the chat while I go live, you could definitely make it happen for me. But yeah, I had once you told me that I had to, I had to mod you up, most definitely, most definitely. I've been on here longer than half an hour, but listen though, right? I'm gonna tap back in probably another about 20, 25 minutes. I'm gonna run this Ti interview. Ti just did an interview with Big Boy. I started watching it, but I didn't get a whole chance to fully look at it. He was talking about he had some good dialogue. He was talking about Nipsey, how how his label wanted to talk to Nipsey about signing, and they were trying to get T.I. to talk to him. He was talking about all of that. So I'm gonna definitely run that. And like I said, he just had an interview. The interview just dropped maybe 3 days, maybe 4 days ago. So I'm gonna run that. Just give me another. Just give me 25 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes. I'm gonna jump back live and I'm gonna run that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna definitely run that. Like I said, just give me 20, 25 minutes and I'm gonna be back. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Peace.